here we go. So legs are stretched out long and relaxed, and hands are on your belly, and take a breath into your hands and fill your belly with air. And exhale through your mouth and draw your belly in towards your spine. Again, inhale into your hands and exhale. And if you listen closely, John's teaching the other room. So if you want an art lesson, you can listen to whatever's going on in there. One more breath in and out. And then keeping your belly still, slide your hands up to your rib cage, fingers in the front, thumbs in the back, and inhale into your hands, filling your rib cage with air. And exhale, cinch in your waist. Draw your navel in towards your spine and repeat that. Two more breaths.
I didn't make a requirement.
One more breath.
You have to have multiple gods. That's the rule. So you at least need two.
Sounds like they're studying Greek or Roman gods. All right, hands are down by your sides. You're just going to roll your head right and left on your pillow or on your roller. Giving the back of your head and your neck a little massage with the roller.
Under here was just a practice session. This was just me showing you how to roll on. Sorry.
Couple more times.
So set them up, man. Unless you want to pickle ball. Okay. Now don't forget, these guys were rocking like.
And then you're going to take the roller and place it underneath, like just across your bra strap, just below your shoulder blades. So pillow or roller, just a little lower down with your hands behind your head. Your knees will be bent this time. Feet are in line with your sit bones. Your tailbone is heavy. Your waist is floating a little bit away from the floor, from the mat. Elbows are out in your peripheral vision, so you can see them out of the corners of your eyes. And as you inhale, you're going to hang backwards over the roller or over the pillows. And as you exhale, bring your chin to your throat. Come to a straight spine, or you can curl a little bit forward if that feels okay. If you have a healthy spine, feel free to do that, or just stick with the neutral spine. Inhale and hang back. Just as far as is comfortable. And as you exhale, lengthen the back of your neck, bring your chin down towards your throat. Come to a straight spine, or if you want to do a little forward curl, you can curl the upper spine a little bit more. Inhale back. But this is the part that matters the most for this one, the back bend. And then exhale, chin to your throat, neutral spine, or a little forward curl. One more time. Inhale back over your pillows or back over your roller. And exhale, chin to your throat. Watch your waist is still floating away from the floor a little bit. The bottom half of the spine isn't doing too much. And the next time you're just going to hang backwards. So pause where it feels like a nice gentle stretch. Oh, there's someone else joining in. Oh, Maureen's able to join us. So you're just going to stay and hang out there and breathe. Welcome to like a pseudo snow day, cold day, Maureen. Come and join us. You need two pillows.
Okay.
Or your roller. You could use your roller also.
All right, I'll grab both just in case.
All right, awesome. All right. So a couple more breaths, hanging backwards over your roller, over your pillows, and spine extension.
So now you start to see kind of the basic layout, right?
And then you're going to come to a straight spine, or you can come to a slight forward curl with the hands behind the head. And we're just going to do some marching steps, keeping the waist floating away from the floor. So if you look, I'm not tucking under. My tailbone, the tip of my tailbone is heavy as I'm doing these marching steps. And the hands are supporting the head, not pulling on it, but the head's resting back in the hands, like the head's in a sling or a hammock. That's what your arms are doing for your head. A couple more sets.
That's true.
And then lower your feet back down. And you're going to come to lying sideways over your roller or over your pillows. And it's going to go kind of like here's your bra strap, there's your shoulder blade. Around that area, you can kind of play with exactly the location. but you want to feel that you're hanging sideways over the roller. So if you're too up by the armpit, you can't really bend very far. And if you're way down at the waist, that might feel better. So you can play around with the location of the roller. You can have it a little further down and feel the stretch here. You can roll it up a little bit higher and feel that the stretch is here. And if you have a roller and it's too much, you can take pillows and rest your head on the pillow or 2 pillows so that there's not so much side bending. So that's an option too. So hanging sideways, you could also prop the head up if that feels better. And knees are bent. Actually kind of like one leg sort of out. That feels better. And place your other hand onto your ribs. This side's nice and stretched. This side, especially if the roller is getting a little bit of a massage. And breathe into your rib cage as closest to the ceiling. And then exhale. Draw your navel in towards your spine. 2 more breaths. One more breath, and then while you're here side bending over your roller, let's do some arm circles. And then reverse the direction. And hey, Maureen, you can listen to an art lesson if you want. It's going on right next door. And then sit yourself up. Let's come on to the other side. Side bend the other way. Again, you could do it kind of up in the middle of your ribs. You could do it down to your waist if that feels better. You can put a pillow under your head. You can prop your head up. There's lots of options. So it should be a gentle stretch. If it's really uncomfortable, make a modification. And hang sideways. Hand is on your top ribs, closest to the ceiling, and take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Fill that one lung with air. This is called one lung breathing. Really focusing on the side of the rib cage and the lung that's stretched out, has lots of space. And keep breathing and do some arm circles. And if your shoulder feels stiff today, you can do the arm circles just with a bent elbow. That might feel a little better. And then reverse the circle. Bent elbow or straight elbow.
Sparta, you have to understand, Italy went back and forth between Roman and Greek rule.
All right, you're gonna sit up and now have a seat either on top of your pillows or on top of your roller. And you can have your legs out straight. If that feels the best, you can have your knees a little bent with your feet on the floor, which I find with the roller because it rolls. I like this position better for the roller, but that's totally up to you. You could even do diamond legs if that feels the best. You're gonna place your hands onto the back of your head. Your elbows are pointed forward. You're gonna take your elbows. You're gonna aim them down towards your thighs. It's okay if they touch. It's okay if they don't touch your thighs. And then sit all the way up, keeping your roller still, keeping your sit bones heavy. Reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. So it's the elbows trying to touch the ceiling and it's the chest lifting. So I'm not leaning backwards. I'm not rolling the roller around. The roller should hold still if you're using a roller. And again, I'm going to point my elbows down. So my chest is softening back. So you get a little curve of the upper spine as the elbows drop down towards the thighs. And then reversing that curve. Lifting my elbows, lifting my sternum. And repeat that 2 more times. Exhale. Elbows point down towards the left. Inhale, elbows stretch and reach up towards the ceiling. 1 more. And then come back to center. Open your elbows wide. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center, and then twist to the left. Weight stays equal on both sit bones. Shoulders stay relaxed away from your ears. One more set. Come back to center. Open your arms out to a T. You're going to put your right hand either on your roller. If you have a pillow, it's going to go off onto the floor. If you have enough range of motion, you could even put your hand all the way off onto the floor. That's fine too. And you're going to stretch the left arm over your head, side bending to the right, keeping both sit bones heavy, and the roller shouldn't be rolling around. And then sit back up and switch sides. So put your left hand onto the roller, right arm's up, and stretch up and over to the left. So watch that you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning backwards. One sit bone isn't coming off of your roller or your pillow. Sit bones are equally weighted. And stay here and breathe.
I want to add some more down here, so I'm going to add things I'm actually going to go.
And then sit back up. If you are on your pillows, you can actually just lie yourself back. You're going to lie down with the pillows underneath your pelvis. On the roller, the safer version is to sit behind your roller. Lay all the way down. Lift up your pelvis to roll the roller underneath. So this is how you're going to end up, however you want to get there. Pelvis is up on the roller, up on the pillows. Now, if you feel like the roller's too hard, too high up in the air, feel free to switch to a pillow or two. And all of this can be done without a pillow. So if just having the pelvis lifted just isn't comfortable, then don't do it. Don't bother. And no matter if you're flat on the floor, up on pillows, or up on a roller, your sit bones are pointed straight forward. So you're just watching that the tail is not going to tuck under or the back isn't going to arch away too far from the floor. Sit bones are pointed forward. If you have a roller, your wrists are resting over the roller. If you have a pillow, depending on the shape of your pillow, you can have your hands on your pillow or off onto the floor. Bring both legs into tabletop. Let's flex our feet. It's going to be in tabletop or relaxed tabletop. So while you're here, feel those sit bones pointed straight forward. Thigh bones are going to be vertical. And as you exhale, draw your navel to your spine. Lower your right heel towards your mat. And lift it back up and then switch sides. And you don't have to touch the floor. It's optional. To determine how far you go, you got to see what your pelvis is doing. Is your pelvis holding still? Can you draw your navel to your spine? Or are you losing some of that stability as you lower the foot towards the floor? So only go as far as you can keep your pelvis stable and your navel drawing towards your spine. One more set. Now bring your legs all the way together and point your toes, again in tabletop or relaxed tabletop, and lower your toes towards the floor. So both legs at the same time, is a lot harder. So feel free to modify. Good form is more important than how far you can go, than range of motion. Also, too, if you feel this in your lower back, it's really uncomfortable in your hips or your neck, then modify the exercise so it feels doable for you and, challenging, but not really uncomfortable. A couple more times. And then straighten both knees, bring your feet towards the ceiling. And then bend your knees into tabletop or relaxed tabletop. And straighten both knees. And if you see, my roller's holding still. It's why I like the roller for some of these exercises. Because if I tuck my tail under, all of a sudden my roller is starting to move. So if you feel your roller moving as you straighten your knees, don't straighten your knees as much. Stop when you start to feel your roller start to move, wherever that is. And then bend the knees. 2 more times. And last one. And then you're going to start to bicycle pedal your legs. So you're going to start small, like you're on a bicycle. You can stay small. And once again, the roller's holding still, weights even on your pillows. And you can start to turn it more into a running motion if you choose. And so you can make it as big or as small as you like. So if you're going big, you can even get the heel all the way down to the floor while the other heel's up towards the ceiling. So you can kind of get to that position if that feels good. Or you could stick with just bicycle pedaling. That's fine too. And then back pedal. Start small. If it feels pretty good, you can work it up to bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and stick with what feels good today. And you're trying to keep that roller still no matter which version of bicycle pedaling running you're doing. And your navel staying in towards your spine. Your shoulders should be relaxed. And then bend both knees. You're going to lower your left foot onto the floor. Hug your right knee into your chest. You have options for the left leg. You can keep the left leg bent. You could also slide the left leg out straight for a little deeper stretch down the left thigh. You choose what feels the best. And then take your hands around your right thigh, reach your right foot up towards the ceiling. No, you can't see my foot. So my foot's going to do little circles just at the ankle. And then you can be bent or straight. Again, this one can also be bent. Whatever feels good. And then switch.
All right, Ryder. Yeah, you're just gonna, class doesn't start until 10:30. So.
And then do what you need to do with this bottom leg to get the top leg as straight as you can. So if that means keeping this knee bent, please do so. But if you can keep the leg out straight, that's fine too. But more than likely, you're going to have to bend this knee and put the foot onto the floor to get this knee straight. This foot is flexed. My hands are clasped around my thigh. If you need to go a little bit lower, you can do that too. Wherever you can reach. And you're going to push the leg down into your hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee, lower your foot, switch sides. So you're going to hold on to your left knee. Again, this leg can be bent. It can be straight if that feels like a nice stretch for you. Hands go around your thigh. The leg stretching up towards the ceiling. The knee can be bent or it can be straight. And we're just going to do little circles at the ankle. And then reverse the circle. And finish with a flexed foot and then straighten this knee. So if you need to change the bottom leg, go ahead and do that. You're going to push your leg down into your hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax the leg. Just gently pull the leg towards you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower your feet. If you have a roller, lift up your pelvis and roll the roller out of the way. If you have a pillow, you're going to scoot the pillow down. So you're going to have both feet either on top of the pillow or on top of the roller. The roller's hardest. We're just making an unstable surface. So if you'd want, you could either stack up your pillows. 1 or 2 pillows is fine. And have both feet on your pillows. We're just going to do some bridging on the pillows. So we have an unstable surface either way. The pillow is going to be kind of wobbly in all directions slightly, where the roller is going to be really wobbly forward and backwards. And you could totally skip either of those options and do it with your feet flat on the floor. So if you want a wobbly surface, choose the pillows or your foam roller. Feet are sit bones width apart. Either arches of your feet are on the roller or your whole foot's going to be on your pillows. Hands are down by your sides. You're going to bridge your hips up, activating those gluteal folds coming up in a neutral bridge, and then crease at your hips, slowly lower back down. If you have a roller, you're trying to keep the roller still. It's going to want to roll forward, especially on the way back down. And step into your feet, bridge your hips up, either on the roller, on the pillows, or none of the above. Crease at your hips and lower back down. 2 more bridges. Come back up into a bridge. Only go as high as you really feel it in the back of the legs and you don't feel it across the lower back. If you feel it across your lower back, Make your bridge a little bit closer to the floor. And lower your pelvis back down. One more time in a neutral bridge. Stay here. Thigh bones are parallel to each other. Your rollers holding still. Stretch both arms over your head. And then place your hands down by your sides. And stretch both arms over your head. And hands back down by your sides 2 more times. And one more. And then crease at your hips. And lower your pelvis. Straight back down. Nice job. All right, so now you're gonna roll to face your device. Take your pillows or take your roller in front of you. So if you have a roller, you're gonna rest from your knees to your ankle on your roller. So your hips gonna be bent, your knees gonna be bent. You're gonna be lying down, bottom leg is straight. So that's it for the roller. If you have pillows, same idea. Stack up your pillows. Rest like your shin on your pillows and lay down. So either way, you look something like this. You could also stick your head on your pillows. That feels nice. Get comfy. Your bottom leg is going to be out straight with the foot flexed. Your top hand's going to be on your hip. And I'm going to try to stack my top hip on my bottom hip. So I'm trying to float my bottom waist a little bit away from the floor. Dad, this won't be such an issue for you because you're a guy. Your hips and your waist are pretty similar. For us ladies, our hips tend to be a little bit wider than our waists. If that's the case for you, you're gonna have to float the waist a little bit away from the floor to stack the hips. And the top elbows reaching up towards the ceiling, and you have a long line from your head down to your bottom heel. And from way up high in your inner thigh, lift the leg up towards the ceiling and then lower it back down. So where your inner thigh connects into your pelvis, that's where you're trying to lift from.
I couldn't find a great template for one, so I'm kind of letting you guys go with what I've said.
4 more.
But I'll send you a list of what I think you should.
2 more. Last one. You're gonna do little pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your leg down, bend your knee so it comes towards your pillows or comes towards your roller. So my bottom leg, looks like that now. My kneecap's right up to my roller. Top leg still where it is. If you have a roller, just kind of hold it still. Put one hand on your roller. You're gonna draw your navel in towards your spine and see if you can float this leg off your roller, off your pillows. The other leg's gonna have to push into the floor to help you do this. And then rest back down onto your roller or onto your pillows. Make an exhale and lift. And inhale and lower.
And literally, you just need to throw in an artist statement and throw on like a just photo.
Trying to keep that top waist long. 5 and 6. We're gonna do 2 more.
Photo artist statement.
Last one. And lower back down. All right, now come sit up. Lie on your other side. Bring your pillows if you want them. So your top leg's either bent and resting on your roller or on your pillows. Your bottom leg is out straight. Your top hand's on your hip and get your hips stacked. So try to float the bottom waist away from the floor a little bit. And from way up high in your inner thigh, lift your bottom leg and lower it. And lift and lower. Watch that the bottom leg doesn't swing forward. You're still in that long line from your head to your foot. 4 more. 2 more. Last one, keep the leg lifting and do little pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lower your leg down, bend your knee, bring your knee forward towards your pillows or towards your roller. Keeping that top waist long, time to lift the top leg. So in this position, you're going to feel the bottom leg push down to the floor to help you do that, and repeat that. So it's like both legs have to push. Good, navel's drawing in towards your spine. 4 more. Last one. And lower. All right, come to lying on your stomach. Have your pillows and your roller nearby. We're gonna do some swan, and then we'll do some other leg work with our rollers or with our pillows. All right, so have your arms in cactus pose, your forehead resting on the floor. Send it to my feet. There we go. And your navel's drawing in, your spine is long. You're gonna float your forehead away from the floor. Lengthen your spine, lift your chin and lift your chest. Come into mini swan. And then exhale and lower back down. And inhale into mini swan, keeping the navel lifting. And lower. So you're trying to bend backwards just below your shoulder blades. So long spine when you float the forehead, and then a little lift of the chin and a big lift of the chest. Last one, you're going to stay in mini swan. You can either stay here and hold and breathe, or as you exhale, float both arms, test those back muscles, and lower your arms. Four more. Last one. Lower your arms and lower back down to your forehead. Now take your arms and stretch them out to a T. Oh, my pillows. Thumbs are pointed up towards the ceiling. You can either keep the forehead just floating away from the floor, or you can come up into mini swan. And you're going to lift both arms and keep them lifting. Do little circles with your arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse the circle for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your elbows, lower your arms, and lower back down to your forehead. Now take your pillows or your roller. You're going to place them at your hip crease. So you're going to stack up your pillows. And see if you get your hip crease like right on top of the pillows. So your hips are a little bit bent, your tush is kind of up in the air, and your forehead's just resting on your hands. So that's what it looks like with the pillows. Or you can use your roller and do the exact same thing, whichever feels the best. So rollers at your hip crease. Your navel's in towards your spine, no matter which version you're doing. So your hips are bent, your knees are bent, and you're going to feel how your hips feel on your pillow or on your roller. They should feel pretty equal. If you feel like one hip's pushing into your roller or your pillows more, see if you can even it out. And then you're going to exhale and lift just your right leg away from the mat, trying to keep that equal pressure into your hips on your roller or pillows, and then lower back down. Repeat that same side. So just the right leg is lifting. And you're only going to lift, you can keep everything still. If you start to feel like your lower back's getting involved, don't lift the leg as high. So you could just come to, that's essentially like a straight hip. And if you want, you can lift the leg a little bit higher, as long as you really feel it in the leg and not in your back. Four more. Two more. And tuck your navel still into your spine. Last one. And then switch legs. The left leg's going to start to lift. Doesn't matter how high you lift. You're just trying to keep your spine nice and still as you lift the leg. You could just come into like a straight hip, like you're standing, Or you can come into a little more hip extension. And again, check and see how your hips feel on your roller, on your pillows. If you feel like you end up with a lot of pressure, particularly into the left hip, see if you can even out that pressure and take a, think of drawing your navel in towards your spine. So a little more weight into the right hip if you feel a lot in your left hip. Couple more times. And last one. And lower back down. And just stay here and breathe for a moment with the hips just relaxed on the roller, on the pillows. Now, if while you're on the roller, you feel like it's uncomfortable for your back, you can actually have your roller and your pillows and just let your chest rest on the pillows. See if that feels really nice. Okay, just stay here and breathe. I say and breathe into your back ribs. And just let your hips relax over the roller. So for those of you who sit a lot, those muscles in the front of the hip flexors get used a ton to keep you in a sitting position. So take this moment to essentially be in like a hip crease in a sitting position, but those muscles don't have to do anything. So imagine as you're breathing that you're letting the fronts of the legs completely relax. If the roller or the pillows are holding you in this position. That you do not need to do anything to be in this position. One more breath. And then come onto hands and knees. You have a few options. You can, if you want a balance challenge, you can come onto hands and knees with your knees on the roller, feet are floating off the floor. That's if you want the roller to be a little bit wobbly. You can also do it with the toes touching. That's going to give you a little bit of support. If that's not comfy for your knees, feel free to take one of your pillows and have your knees resting on your pillows. Okay? So one of those two, either the knees are on the pillow or your knees are on your roller. I'll do roller for a challenge today. So fingers are spread wide. Either your middle fingers are pointed forward or your pointer fingers are pointed forward. You're in a neutral spine, so a long line from your head to your tail. Your gaze is straight down, so just watch that you're not tucking your tail under. We're going to do that soon. And you're going to inhale, let your chest relax towards the mat, gliding the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, lift the chest away from the mat, widening those shoulder blades. So chest drops and chest lifts, the spine's not moving. So feel those two edges of the shoulder blades from way up by your neck to way down, like right kind of in line with your armpit, right along where your bra strap is. Feel those bottom edges of the shoulder blades, those tips of the shoulder blades also trying to come together. One more time. Keep the shoulder blades wide as you inhale, come into cow, and exhale, come into cat. Now, if you have the roller, you're trying to hold the roller still. If you grip at your hips, the roller's going to move. If you allow the spine to move and the shoulders and the hips to be relaxed and allow for movement, then the roller will hold still. So that'll be a good tip. You'll notice like, oh, my roller's moving, my hips must be locking up. One more time for cow. Lift your chin and lift your chest, widen your sit bones as you come into cat, tuck your tail under, draw your navel up and towards your spine, and then come back into neutral. Now this is the hard one on the roller. As you exhale, you're gonna reach your right arm forward, your left leg back. Easy on the floor. Woo, not so easy on the roller. And then lower your hand and your knee. Switch sides. Left arm's gonna reach forward, right leg's gonna reach back. And lower. Keep alternating sides. Take your time if you're on the roller. If it's impossible to do the arm and the leg at the same time on the roller, feel free to do just the arm and then just the leg as two separate parts. One more set. And last thing on hands and knees, we're gonna do some push-ups. So you're gonna aim your nose forward of where your fingertips are. You're gonna bend your elbows back by your sides. So you're gonna aim, the tips of your elbows will aim up towards the ceiling, as well as your tush is gonna go up towards the ceiling. Roller's gonna hold still if you're on the roller. So inhale and bend, exhale, push yourself back up. Inhale and bend, and push back up. Your nose does not have to touch the floor. That would just be your goal, is to get as close to the floor as possible. Wide shoulder blades. Let's do 3 more. Last one. You can sit back in child's pose either with your knees on your pillow. You could also put the roller or the pillow behind your knees. And as you're in child's pose, sit on the roller like this. That's an option. Or you can put your pillow back there. That'll give you a little cushion for your knees. And just stay there and breathe. So focusing on sending your air into your back ribs. All right, 1 balance exercise standing before we go. All right, you have 2 options, either pillows or roller. And with the roller, you also have a couple of options. You can either go for the big challenge, which is to have the roller in the center of the room and see if you can come to standing on your roller like this. And it's going to be wobbly, totally fine. Now, if you want to do the roller, but you don't feel so comfortable not having anything to hold on to, you can find a wall. Like I'll just turn around and go to my window over here. And you can hold on to a wall with your fingertips on the wall. And then balance with your fingertips touching the wall. And then you can always let go of the wall as you feel comfortable. So that's with the roller if you want to practice balancing on the roller. You also have the option, especially, if you get to 2 feet, you go, oh, I can do 2 feet. This isn't so bad. And you're like, okay, can I do 1 foot? So you can also practice standing on 1 foot on the roller if you'd like. And if the roller, if you don't have one, or that just doesn't sound like a good option for you, you're gonna do the same thing on 2 pillows. You're gonna start standing sit bones width apart on 2 pillows. And if they're like, oh, that feels pretty good, you can try it standing on 2 pillows with your eyes closed. That's going to make it more challenging. You could also standing on 2 pillows on 1 foot. And if that's going well, try it with your eyes closed. Whoa, that gets wobbly. So on 1 foot with your eyes closed is actually very similar to on the roller on 1 foot with your eyes open. So those are some things you can try. You get to choose which version you do. So take a couple moments, practice standing. I'm going to come take a peek into how we're doing and give you some tips. So while you're standing, make sure you're breathing and reach the top of your head up towards the ceiling. And you should feel like your feet are probably, especially, either on the roller or if you have your eyes closed on the pillows, you're going to feel your ankles get really wobbly. That's normal. You're going to try and let the ankles make those little adjustments to balance, but not have the rest of the body get really wobbly too. So see if you can keep the rest of the body really lifted and take your deep breaths and allow those ankles to get a little shaky. And if you fall over, it's okay. Just get yourself back up and try it again. Nice job, everybody. And whatever surface you're on, or you could just go onto the floor. I want everybody to try it on 1 foot. Yeah, make sure you also try whatever you're doing on 1 foot or change the exercise so you can do it on 1 foot. Either flat on your mat, on a pillow, holding on to a stair rail or a window or a wall. If you need a little bit of You need a security blanket. Go ahead and do that.
So, time to wake up. I know you've been sitting through boring.
Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath as you're doing this. And then make sure to change feet. And also notice if it's easier on one foot than the other. And you feel like if it's kind of, you know, pretty significant how it feels standing on one foot versus the other. I want you throughout the day to notice if you catch yourself standing on that good foot, you know, standing like this, kind of one of these things. If you catch yourself doing this, go back to 2 feet. You might even notice that you stand like this, where both feet are on the floor, but your weight's really more on one foot than the other. And every time you might catch yourself standing on, you know, for me, my easier leg to stand on is my left foot. Every time you catch yourself on whichever foot that is, come back to center. Whether that's one time or a million times, every time it crosses your mind. Some good times to do it is when you're washing the dishes. I find that, or cooking, that's a good time where you're kind of standing in one place to kind of check your how you stand. And come off of whatever prop you're on. Just stay standing facing your device. I'm gonna do it seated so you can see me. You're gonna float both arms up by your ears. Look up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, let the arms float back down by your sides. One more time, arms float up. And arms float back down. And you are all done.